Very nice. Welcome to Axe to Grind, a hardcore podcast. And then you guys typically correct me and say the hardcore.
I mean,
and you're not wrong. I don't know. I don't know why my brain doesn't go there. I think I listened to one of those podcasts about screenwriting or something like that says a screenwriting podcast. So now it's just in my head.
It sounds good.
no, it's fine.
But I'm Patrick.
I'm Bob.
And I'm Tom.
We talk about hardcore.
And other stuff.
Last episode was Wiley.
What, did we not talk about hardcore?
No, we did.
Like that fever dream that was the last episode?
The fever dream. Well, when you hear this, the last episode will be a deep dive in new music. The episode before that, we were on
We
one.
were saying some shit.
I just did the notes for it, and man, I
feel like
zoning
I got
out.
dosed.
Like, yeah. It was like, I think I left a note at the end. This was a weird one.
Yeah, someone dosed my dreams.
Did people like it? I've been so
people feeling it.
Okay, because I've been so preoccupied.
With acting and just my art. I just can't, man.
You'll be happy to know that I'm on the television show Blue Bloods on Monday.
ACAB.
It's you and what's the lead? Who's the lead? It's
Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
Tom
And Donnie
Selleck.
Wahlberg.
I hope I get an opportunity to hang with Tom Selleck. Oh, is Donnie on it?
Donnie's one of his guys,
no
man.
Shit. All right.
I definitely think you should find out what they use to cover up your tattoos and like do like a self-defense or drug charge like photo shoot without tattoos.
wow.
and see what
Oh,
people
that would
do.
freak people
Yo,
out.
what if you did a de-aged one where you covered up the tats and maybe dyed your hair back to something? You
Okay,
know what I
here's a
mean?
wild idea. Let me throw something at you guys. You tell me how you process.
Throw it back if you don't like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, so my hair is not as thick as it used to be, and it makes me sad, right?
Okay.
Because I always thought that I had like a nice head of hair.
I mean, you still do. Go
It's
for
You're
it.
doing
fine.
good. You're
It's
doing
fine.
good.
It's
Punch
fine.
you right in the-
But
in your bald spot.
You're
Nah,
still in the A spot of
but-
this team. I know.
But no. But look, as dudes that have hair that is going away,
Yeah.
you probably. What am I giving you?
Slowly
news?
but surely.
Am I giving you news?
Slowly but surely.
Holy shit! I'm sorry.
We already talked about it.
All three people whose voices you hear have hair. Now, if living is
didn't know
only
it was-
the act of not dying, then we all have hair strongly. But slowly we are losing our hair.
Slowly we are.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't know I was giving you news. My bad. So
Thanks, Craig.
but when it hits you, when that realization hits you, that like, oh, my hair is thinner than it was 10 years ago.
Yes.
Like, you probably go through a bit of a moment, right?
Yes.
And I think I'm having that moment because I don't have a bald spot per se.
No. Do you think you're thinning a little
I'm
bit?
just thinning.
I think you're okay. You're going silver.
But silver I like.
Silver
I know.
Fox.
I know. Like this is, but like today, I'm noticing it way more than even 2 weeks ago.
So here's
Oh.
You took a shower before.
here's the
did,
thing.
The grease darkens it up a little bit.
Here's the thing.
Oh, okay.
Grecian formula, hence the name.
So my niece is a hairdresser. She did my hair one time and she said, "Oh, you want me to dye it?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Oh, come on, you want me to dye it?" And I said, "What do you mean?" I said,
I'm
"I
a
like."
pro.
I
Yeah,
said, "I
no,
like-"
the silver's good.
I said, "I like."
That's good look for
She's
you.
like, and this was before I was dating Amelia. She said, "No young woman will ever love you." And I said, "That's a very strong."
That's not true.
I think it's a
Very-
fallacy.
That's a fallacy.
But is that because? And total respect to Brittany. Shout out to Brittany, my
Spears?
She's my niece and my
Shout out,
hairdresser.
Brittany.
So
She's my niece.
Sorry
and my
about
wife.
that Tony thing. It was just one time. It won't happen again.
niece and my hairdresser. Shout out to her. But is it because she's in an Albany state of mind that she's not with the silver?
Yeah, that might be.
Maybe.
I think a lot of silver foxes in Albany also got like that Times Union beer gut. Like, you know what I mean?
No question.
Maybe missing some teeth.
They got
No
they
question.
got the sliding out of the booth at Stewart's at like 8:30 vibe. You're not that.
I think I told you this. I got a sister that's 50. She dates a man more than 10 years younger than her.
God bless.
And when people give her static, which is weird, but people do say shit. I had no idea that would be a thing people fucking cared about. But
They're like age shaming her.
yeah, because like, you
Rock the
know,
cradle.
apparently
Just
if you're
hits them real quick and then it's over.
well, apparently, if you're a woman, that people hold you to some bullshit where like it's somehow uncouth for you to be dating a young man. I don't fucking know. Whatever.
Fuck outta
Point
here.
is, when people say shit to her, she always responds with, "Have you seen a 50-year-old man in Albany, New York?" You know what I mean? You know what? You know what goes into that?
Shuts
and she's
down.
not wrong.
No.
I mean, who can argue that?
I mean, I'm looking at a
Picasso.
38-year-old.
It's a Picasso.
hell.
Good from afar, far from good.
I don't even think.
Not really that. It's
yeah.
like a It's
Bad from all angles. You know what I mean? So
they got those cracked faces though. I say this about old white men. I say they got Picasso face because their nose looks like it's crooked and they got really sharp lines all over their face.
They look like Jason Robard.
I'm starting to get the sharp lines right here.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
you're doing all right.
the frown lines.
I frown too much.
I
Okay.
got some people. I can get you some stuff.
Some
Get some
Botox?
shots.
Yeah, what if
You'd
you
always
start
look
going
surprised.
for
You
that?
should.
I mean, Amelia is pushing me to get Botox.
And you've been talking
That
about
is
the lip
ridiculous.
thing. You've been talking about the lip thing. Why not
My
pump
lips
them
are
up a
small
little
as
bit? Why not pump them up a little?
Your lips are sealed.
Then my lips are small as
If you're
fuck,
ever
but
going back to California, you just need to step up your game.
You just need to go away and do all these improvements and then come back because people would go, "Wait, his lips big."
He looks sort of the same, but
Right,
a little
like
different.
people are like, you want to like dye your beard? I'm like, what am I gonna show up one day like Creed from The Office? Like it's ridiculous.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan style. That's the only thing.
With the yeah.
One
Well, when I
day,
do my
here he
full-
is.
Yeah, when I do my full heel turn, you'll.
Oh yeah. Yo, Hollywood Time Machine might be one of the best gimmicks we've come
Who came up with that? Was that you?
I think it
That was
was
pretty
me.
great
It's
because
good.
people refer to it on the internet now, which is good.
Shout out.
that's how
Shout
you know
out.
something is a successful
Yeah.
idea. So let's give shout outs to
yeah.
our sponsors first, right? Firstly, what episode is this? What the fuck
is
are we
40.
doing?
40.
No, but I mean, what are we talking about?
Winning streaks.
Oh, we're doing winning streaks. Okay, then let's talk about the
What?
let's talk about the incomparable winning streak of Triple B. They're on one right now.
No, they're killing it.
I think that Ukulu is going to be the fucking joint. I think that's going to be something.
I think so too.
What are they doing? 12-inch or 7-inch or what's the deal?
7-inch. 7-inch of the songs that are out there. So
Okay,
it's not new
cool.
material.
Right.
But it's
But it's out there now,
But
yeah.
it's going to be physical.
Cool.
Seems like it's going to be super rad. By the time you've heard this, they played their first show, which was with
In-
that Terror, Candy, Backtrack, Harmway, Year of the Knife
Yeah.
tour. in
Our boy
Brooklyn.
Cheddar is shredded as
Shredded.
part of Akulu.
Yeah, how about being in Candy
And Akulu. Not
So,
bad.
so shout out to those two things. He's got some other big stuff planned. We know Excalibur is coming soon. And he announced the America's Hardcore Festival, which we'll talk about shortly. But right now, I want to tell you to go to triplebrecords.limitedrun.com. You're going to want to enter a code
That's Axe to Grind.
Spell it out.
and receive 10% off. So go do that.
And get
I did that the other day, and I bought the Candy record because I thought I pre-ordered it, and I didn't. I did that twice. I must be going senile.
Yeah.
Both times I go, man, Death Wish is fucking up.
Yeah.
I ordered that God Way record. I never got it because I didn't order
yeah,
it.
check
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
So get yourself the little purses that people are wearing now.
I think they're going to be gone.
He's not going to redo them.
You should.
I mean, when something sells that fast, you got to redo
Well, I
it.
They
was
look
gonna-
like fanny packs, but they're wearing them across the chest. to
Yeah,
give
I don't know
that
what you
Those are
call them.
Supreme.
I don't know what you call them.
Yeah, like hip bags.
Yeah.
But yeah, those things. I you know what I was gonna get? I was like, maybe I'll get one of those. And then the ones I wanted were already sold out. The camo, I'm not going below.
Yeah, I got you.
That's the sort of shit that I'll wear in like 6 years when it's totally out. You know what I mean?
I got another bag that I'm going to pitch to you guys. That's
Okay.
going to be cool.
Oh, bag innovations. All right, I'm
that's
with
cool.
it.
It's neat.
It's a whole new bag.
And while we're speaking of innovators,
Pop has got a brand new
our other
We're
sponsor,
going for two different
Death
Yeah.
Wish.
ink.
Really, we'll talk about Death Wish in great detail at some point, not because they're a sponsor, but because it's part of the history.
Yeah.
But we could safely say innovators did a lot of things ahead of other people, and currently on a winning streak of their own.
Yeah.
That Gouge Away, that Super Unison, and that Cult Leader, that is a strong 2018.
Yeah, it is.
So go order those now. The Super Unison has my interest peaked. I'm probably going to do the headphone listen of the entire album
Yeah.
pretty soon.
That's a good one for a dog walk.
Yeah. And
And that comes out, what, end of October?
is that right?
I believe so. Yeah.
October 26th, I want to say.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
I remember that from when we listened to it last week.
you know what to do, fam.
And I'm going to throw out one that's a few years ago that I'll dive on at some point. Maybe when we do our Death Wish dive. Oathbreaker, Raya. I love that
Oh,
record.
I know you do.
I love that record. And it's odd because it's not necessarily my typical thing, but I just think it's a really cool record. And that band actually, I think, is doing some sort of single next year. So that's
Cool.
kind of cool.
They also sponsored Josta, and I listened to the newest Josta today. And they're like, put in, Josta for 15% off. I'm like, 15% off? And he goes, oh, I'm sorry, it's only 10% off. I'm like,
all right, I
you're
was
goddamn right.
gonna say.
So don't put in Josta.
No.
Axe to grind.
Put an axe to grind.
Yeah, he's got money.
Yeah. He's
He
doing
got
all right
it.
with that. He's got that CBD.
But I just was upset that he was getting 15% off it.
Please.
So
It'll be
go
an-
to
And are you missing shouldn't it be you get 14% off because you're just a 14?
Oh.
Wouldn't you think that would be like the move?
No, because that's...
Is that too deep?
Yeah, too deep.
Do people think his last name is Josta? Most likely, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, for sure.
yes. Yeah.
And James Shanahan has become Jamie Josta? Got it.
100.
So go to deathwishinc.com, enter the promo code,
Also, as expected, axe to grind.
And then you have to spell it out.
and you get 10% off your whole order. Let's get into it.
Let's do
Get
it.
it.
Somber note to start with.
Oh,
We got
yeah.
a couple quick hits today. We want to say a big rest in peace to Kenny Aarons, the original singer of Urban Waste.
Yes.
If you're not familiar with Urban Waste, they're one of the seminal early 80s New York hardcore bands, an A7 band, a band who was doing stuff before all the bands you loved were doing stuff.
Yep.
Truly.
Yeah, and are signaled quite often as this innovator because they really were doing something different.
Yeah. I mean, they're the band that Roger Seitz is getting him into hardcore. Roger Moret.
Yes, and if you want to do a quick crash course on what was New York hardcore prior to, I use Victim in Pain, but prior to, say, even 1985.
Yeah, Age of Quarrel and back, pretty much.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, so Age of Quarrel is 86, which is
Which
shocking.
is nuts, yeah.
But so you've got the Abused 7-inch, you've got the Urban Waste 7-inch,
Yeah. Reagan Youth.
Reagan Youth, you got the Mob 7-inch,
Mm-hmm.
and you got Victim in Pain.
I think Urban Waste might be the most underappreciated, but and I don't want to hijack talking about a man's
Sure.
passing, but at some point we got to talk about how critically overlooked Reagan Youth is now. It's
Yeah.
like a joke.
And what a story.
Yes.
What a
So-
crazy story. Yeah.
We'll get into that,
We'll
but
dig into that. So Urban Waste is a crazy band. And the thing I will say is, compared to all the other scenes, DC, Midwest, Boston, they decided hardcore kind of origin points. New York had the most eclectic sound between
Yeah.
each band. There was no scene sound. Urban Waste didn't sound like the Abused. The Abused did not sound like the Mob. None of those bands sounded like Reagan Youth. None of those bands sounded like AF. They were all doing their own thing. They're all recording in these weird, funky places in New York. The Urban Waste 7-inch is dirty, noisy, has a
Yeah.
buzzsaw grind. And go check it out if you haven't heard it.
Great vocalist.
Amazing.
Such a brutal
And the
voice.
lyrics are great.
Oh,
The
yeah,
lyrics are great.
absolutely.
So there's a
So you got the song Public Opinion.
public opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not
it's-
into hardcore. I'm not into punk rock. Don't you try and label me. So really awesome band. And sad to see anyone pass, especially when this is kind of
Yeah.
the first wave of this whole subculture. So
Yeah, and so shout out to his family and his friends and stuff like that.
Yeah. R.I.P. to our dude. Moving on, in happier news, what do we got?
well, we already talked about Triple B just a little bit, but the win streak is continuing
Yes.
because America's Hardcore Fest is coming in December.
Ooh.
Can I pull it up and I'll read
Please
that?
do. Please do.
Oh, yeah, we'll do it. So,
Give me 1 second. You guys can talk while I pull it up.
sure. So I've played a Triple B Fest in the past.
Been on America's Hardcore Con.
Yes. Yes, thank you for reminding me.
With the whale sounds.
This is...
Is that the one?
That is, yeah. This is a very fun fest. You know why? Is it because it's at Hardcore Stadium, which is still...
The Elks Lodge, too.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
My bad then. I have not played this space.
Okay.
Because I played when they did...
The Democracy Center? Where
No. I'm
Middle
barred,
East?
barred from there. Middle
Yeah.
East. The one room in the Middle
Sometimes
East.
they do stuff in the Middle East.
The rat.
As part of this.
He's a rat. Yes, I time traveled. So
Sorry.
it is a good vibe because it does the thing that I like at a fest we've talked about, which is pick a room, fill a room. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
don't worry about getting the biggest space. Don't worry about like everybody in the nation talking about a thing. Make it so everybody that goes leaves with a positive impression.
Right.
And that's what those type of fests do.
And like every year, this fest has been generating
Buzz.
those stories and those highlights.
Think about day by day. What was that, last year? Or the year before?
Last year or the year before, time flies. But
Yeah.
it was the story of the year. You know, I think it was last year, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, and imagine how far they've come
Oh,
in
they're
8 months or 9, 10 months or whatever.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
Wild reaction.
There's a bunch of bands from South Florida on there this year, so you want to dive in?
Sure. Oh, you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Should I start from the bottom?
Why not?
I mean, there is no bottom, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
Vantage Point,
Okay.
Warfare,
Sam's band.
Yep, Sam's band.
Dominant Force.
South Florida.
I appreciate that he puts Warfare on earlier.
Yes.
Like, you could be like, hey, we're main support just because I can't be there. I got Topo Chico to unload, you know?
We could talk about promoters that consistently build their own bands too high. It's a phenomenon, but he did not do this.
No, I
this
respect
time.
that. Sleight of hand.
Okay.
Result of choice.
I still think that's the most insane name for.
Result of choice.
Yes, so insane.
German straight edge.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Antagonize. Mm-hmm. Ikulu. Could be the breakout.
Yep. If
Distort.
if they can pull off what they do on the record, people are going to lose it.
Well, and
Yeah.
if they can pull it off and they're good.
Yeah, right.
I've seen tons of bands pull it off and be stale.
Right.
Sure. So Distort.
Cali.
Mil-Spec.
We're
Yeah.
fans.
Canadians. Deflect.
Yep.
Wild Side.
Canada.
Restraining Order.
Mass.
This is interesting because this is the posted bill, basically. Like, this is what
Going
we
up.
Yeah.
assume is vaguely the lineup.
It's gotta
Things
be the end.
Things change, but because there's some interesting choices here.
Absolutely. It's varied. I like it. So Restraining Order, Abuse of Power,
LP coming sometime.
Illusion.
Okay.
New 7-inch unlocking out pretty soon.
Look at this guy. He's an encyclopedia.
No, he's on top of it.
Initiate. I just listened to their record the other day. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
Really good. California.
Magnitude.
North
Okay.
Carolina.
Yep.
Unified Right.
Florida.
Sam's favorite band.
Shocked that they're this early. If this is indeed any kind of order.
Really? Because I just heard 20 bands. What time
There's-
does this shit start?
It's 2 days.
Yeah, so
okay, yeah.
Mind Force.
Yep, yep, yep.
By this, I'm calling it now, will be the breakout.
I think they're gonna.
They're already
yeah.
the breakout. But I'm
Well,
saying,
but
like,
it's in New York and New Jersey. Their shows are just popping.
yeah. I watched a video of them from Southampton.
They stole the show.
Like, Jesus.
Stole the show.
So Mind Force, Trail of Lies. Division of Mind.
Oh,
Colin of Arabia.
wow. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
Day by Day.
So Colin of Arabia
Mordor.
doesn't play nearly as much as they used to.
No.
So when they do play, I presume it probably gets lit. You know what I mean?
so.
Oh yeah, and it brings a different element and
crowd.
different amount of people to the show too.
Yep. Okay.
Which is good,
Yeah.
to be honest.
So we got Day by Day from Mordor.
Let's see if they can
Oh my goodness.
They're going to have to. I mean, they definitely will. Freedom from Detroit Mitch.
band that I have erroneously called fake big and turned out to be real big.
Real big.
Yeah, you are wrong.
Yeah.
Fiddlehead.
Do you know I'm wrong so often that I've started saying things that I don't want to happen, so that
So you can feel like
Right.
like
Yeah.
or that I do want to happen, I'm against them.
Reverse
publicly.
Did you ever see
Yes.
that movie, The Cooler?
I'm familiar with the concept, and
You're
yes,
yeah.
I'm the cooler.
Yeah.
Yes, that's me.
It's a good movie. Was it William H. Macy?
William H.
Sounds right.
Casey.
Yeah.
And I can't think of the woman that plays in it, but yeah, they put him near anybody who's on a hot streak at a.
Yep.
All right, so we said Fiddlehead, Eco Strike,
Mm-hmm.
and who I would guess is one of the two headliners, Fury
Yes.
Oh yeah.
from Orange County, California.
I heard that. Yeah.
But their LP's out by then.
Yep,
Oh,
and
we're close.
the headliner finally making it to all streaming platforms from Connecticut, probably Bridgeport. Death Threat.
Oh yeah.
2 words.
Two-word death
My
threat.
man.
Yes. Have they ever made a shirt that referenced that?
I don't think so.
2 words.
2 words.
Yeah.
Death Threat. Well, they should do like 2 words, motherfucking death threat or something like that.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Like
But-
who did that? What band had that? 2 words. Straight fucking edge.
Oh,
I'm like, that's
Throwdown.
3.
Throwdown.
No,
Wait,
it was.
You don't know?
It's Morgado, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was wild. It was
Wrong
My
side.
bad.
Wrong side.
My bad.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Pardon me. Throwdown is I have one thing. I have nothing else to say, but I have what is it? I have one thing.
God, dude.
It's so good, man. It's like it's ignorant, not in like a beat you up ignorant way. It's ignorant in a like
You don't know what you're saying.
yes,
Yeah.
like,
Like, you're not.
You're
there's-
speaking gibberish. Yeah.
Excuse me.
So America's Hardcore. What are the dates on that?
I'm sorry.
No worries.
So the only thing I have to say against America's hardcore
Whoa.
festivals is that you got to go to Boston to attend them.
You got to go to Cambridge.
Yeah.
That's where Harvard is. Isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. I saw Goodwill Hunting once.
Yeah, I just listened to a Matt Damon interview.
Yeah.
Seems like a pleasant guy.
Yeah.
Well, I got a number. How you like them apples? November 30th and December 1st.
Oh, it's a good day.
In Cambridge, Massachusetts. Another thing that I'd like to add, all proceeds will be donated to the Indonesian Tsunami Relief Fund.
Oh, that's cool. All proceeds?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good for
I mean,
Sam.
which means,
Yeah.
after everybody
Yeah.
gets
After
it's
he
still
takes care
fucking
of the
cool
best.
shit.
I mean, it's still cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
So shout out
This
to
dude
that.
is on a winning streak.
Yeah.
No, I think people.
Good human way to get
I think people forget how much work has to go into all this stuff that Sam does, and it's pretty impressive. So
Yeah.
big shout outs from
Yes.
all of us. We'll see you soon.
Maybe we'll set up at the Middle East. The Mama Kin still exist? The place that Aerosmith owned?
Oh, I don't think so.
We can go outside. I played the Rat. We can maybe like go to the
Oh,
Rat
wow.
and just
Just
What
kind
is
of
it now?
memorialize.
like nines of people. It's probably some weird bar that's like people go before the Red Sox.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
right
yeah.
by Fenway, isn't it?
It's literally right,
Right,
behind
yeah,
the Green Monster.
It's like
Yeah.
in the shadow, yeah.
Bill's Bar. Our place is gone.
Oh, Bill's
So-
Bar, yeah, went there.
Of the legendary venues, because I have no respect for legendary venues.
Right.
We've debunked legendary venues on this podcast before.
9 out of 10 suck.
The Rat is the one that I actually am glad that I got to see.
It's pretty cool.
I
never
thought
went.
it was fun.
Never
Toilet,
Yeah,
but
I
I mean,
believe it.
but all those places were.
yes, and it's
CB's was the toilet,
to me a
Terrible
fun toilet.
toilet.
but amazing. It's our toilet.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
literally.
Okay, what else we got? I'm gonna make you tea while Bob
I'm
says
sorry.
this.
Yeah.
No, it's
They're
okay.
hard to-
I'm just thinking of my editing job. But go on.
I'm gonna spill some tea.
So we've got a couple things coming up here. FYA Fest is happening in Florida.
Fuck your attitude fest.
5-band tour heading down. Dead Heat, California. Hangman from Long Island.
Yes.
The Fight from Long
Long
Island. World Demise from New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Rule Them All from Long Island. All 5 bands touring together down the East Coast. Not a lot of shows. 5 shows, 6
Yeah.
shows, something like that.
2 of which are FYA, I think.
That's right. So it's
Yeah.
just a few shows down, a few shows back. I thought this was cool. First note about it, 2 main points. One, basically all newer-ish bands.
Yeah.
You know, Dead Heat's been around for a little bit,
Right.
but still just kind of catching
Yeah.
momentum.
Working on the LP now, I think.
Yeah, Hangman,
With Taylor.
same deal, just kind of catching
Uh-huh.
momentum now. And the other bands are all bands that basically started this year.
Yeah. Like I don't think Rule Them All has left the Northeast. I would imagine.
No, and neither has World Demise. They've
No.
toured. Maybe
They
they
might
down
have
as
played 10
Virginia.
shows, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
So this is cool. 5 new bands all kind of coming out. So we urge you to go check that out. The other point: 5 bands of this size on tour together. Is this something that a local scene could support in a small place on the road?
I mean, it's tough because I feel like there's so many bands that are playing FYA from around here that you almost have to kind of like
Pair it up.
Yeah, that's my only thought. Like usually it's like a 5-band bill. It's like you're fucking a local scene because they
Yeah,
don't get to
sure,
open
sure,
for
sure,
whoever. But like with this, it's kind of like, you know, there's also probably 3 other packages that are trying to sort of reroute around this.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, there's no way the Northeast corridor or like the
95 corridor south,
corridor
yeah.
could take all the bands that are going to be
No,
playing
that's true.
FYA.
And it's an underrated piece that I know I found myself in as a festival promoter was that tour route coordinator also became a part-time job at the height
unpaid.
of it.
Right.
Oh yeah, but that was okay
Volunteer.
but it was done, and there was a few years there. I think 06, 07, 08.
Right.
We were pretty hands-on with helping bands and being like, hey, this tour with these 3 bands is going south. You might want to go north.
Right.
Or, hey, maybe you want to do a quick one. And there was one year
Yeah.
where basically we were booking 3 tours. Me and our friend Andy Rice helped book 3 tours, all going east-west
Okay.
from the Northeast to Southern California, and we booked inverted routes. So one went through the middle and then hit California and split up
Right.
and went otherwise. Another went the southern route all the way through Florida and Texas.
Right.
And another, and this was built strategically, did the quick shot of like all right, we're touring out to California in 10 days. Boom.
Right.
You know? So it was like one weekend, few shows across the middle,
Yeah.
Play
hit the
show, go
festival.
back.
Yep. And
Interesting.
some people flew home the whole day.
Right.
it's really tough.
Yeah.
Same thing for FYA. So if you guys are booking tours, booking routes down there, think about it. I know for me, this feels tough. I hope people who are booking this in the local area don't feel insecure to add one local band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 6 bands is not terrible.
I mean, if you're at 5, what
if
tells
you're
the
at
difference?
5, throw one local to open or to be in the middle of that, just to give it some of your flavor, hopefully help them out, hopefully expose that local band to these touring bands to say, hey, yo, that band from wherever is cool.
Right, that's how you trade shows, man.
I got a divergent opinion.
Go for it.
You?
An opener on this, in my view, is not getting much out of it because people aren't going to, unless they're a well-loved local favorite.
That's what I mean. They have to be.
It's gotta be.
They have to be adding something to it.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and
So they might headline.
or
rather
be
than-
right in the middle. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
Change it up. Yeah, it has to be a band who you can see it has some value and is going to bring, even if it's 10 or 15 locals who wouldn't go otherwise. Just bring that in.
And
Should I read off the towns they're playing?
Sure.
Is that cool?
yeah, I just want to also say I don't know many of the kids. You'd have to list all those bands to me. I know maybe 4 kids on that tour, but everybody seems reasonable and to know their size. And the best advice I could give to bands that haven't toured a ton but are all going someplace together, if a promoter tells you that one of you is bigger in that town, defer, and that is now your headliner, regardless of how you had it organized in
Right.
your
I
head.
mean, it looks like Dead Heat is headlining the thing.
Yeah.
And I would say,
Them or Hangman.
I would say that if in a certain town the promoter
If they
says,
say, hey, man, World Demise is really popping,
yes,
let them headline.
let
But
them headline.
you're right. Everyone on this tour is totally reasonable and has no problems. So.
Showing us photos. Look, different towns can have decidedly different vibes.
Right. And this is a pretty divergent lineup.
Yeah, I actually quite like that about
Where
it.
like Rule Them All is nothing like Dead Heat, which
Yeah.
is nothing like World Demise, which is cool.
It is a nice mix, and I think it's one of those tours that you see, and it's like this is booked by a bunch of bands who are
All
in the
friendly,
same
yeah.
and friendly and in the same range of size. It was done like, yo, let's go play some shows
It's
together.
like New Titans on the block.
Yeah,
fucking cool.
No,
You remember that tour?
I think that this is very. Are we going to talk about the new wave, or is that a different episode?
That's a different episode.
Okay,
but we
because
can talk
I'm
about
very
it here.
excited.
The new wave is
talking about
really
it, I'm getting
interesting.
excited.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. There's a lot. And we're going to get into it more on a Patreon episode that's coming up. So maybe you want to
Oh,
subscribe to our
listen
Patreon.
for that.
So they're
But
playing.
all these bands are part of this wave of newer-ish bands, eclectic sound that
Yeah.
have all kind of started really popping off this year. It's really cool.
It's awesome. I'm going to cough into the microphone before I do this.
why
Do we have a cough button? Maybe that's what we get next.
No, but when you go off to the side, not bad.
No?
Yeah, not bad. It's only
I'm not going to cough.
it's only the force. Like even though you're pretty far away, I got whatever. Go
All
on.
January 2nd, they're playing Richmond, Virginia at the Warehouse.
Should be a friendly show.
Yes, January 3rd in Wilkesboro, North Carolina at Mass Grave.
It's a great name.
They need a show on January 4th in Atlanta because it says TBA.
God damn it, Atlanta.
Might be
Step up.
TBD, so they might have something, but you know,
God
Maybe.
damn it.
they don't
Atlanta.
step up.
2 days in Tampa, Florida, FYA Fest. January 7th, they're playing in Charleston, South Carolina at the Purple Buffalo.
My favorite city. Second.
January 8th, Baltimore, Maryland at Asian Taste.
My 11th favorite city.
11th.
It's not that high.
It's not that high, but I do. I like
Baltimore's got some
I like
charm.
Baltimore for a day.
You ever been to the vegan spot there? Probably not.
Which one? The
of
African one?
Kush?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
And then
Shout out
January
Land of
9th.
Kush. We're coming for that sponsorship.
Love it. Listen.
New Brunswick, E-Block.
E-Block.
Okay.
What's the other place, the big place in Baltimore, the vegan place?
Land of Kush has been the one for a
but-
while.
More like a Rasta type place?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not Land of Kush.
No.
That sounds like pop.
Oh.
No.
Soul Veg.
Is it Soul Veg?
I think so. I believe so.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
It is both are whatever. The spot that you're talking about is good. Land of Kush is good. Baltimore is cool. My only problem, sorry to be so specific, row houses don't allow for light on the either side, and that makes for a very depressing existence.
Bad for your chakra. So.
Really bad, man.
So shouts to those bands.
Shouts to those bands we talk about you. We'll keep talking about you.
Is 5
Do
too
good
many?
stuff.
It's too late now. Well, let's find out.
yo, you know what? Support that. That's the kind of thing that makes it so all those bands can go do more tours. So
Yeah, I mean, figure 5 bands, probably 2 vans.
oh, that's smart.
Split time. You know what I mean? I would imagine.
Make it work.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes, to be honest, it doesn't. It reminds me of some of those Indecision tours you've highlighted, where it's like you guys in Silent Majority,
And
you guys in
Millhouse
Millhouse,
in like 2 vans. Yeah.
Right, that's cool.
Yeah.
We're back. What the fuck were we off about?
We were talking about the tour, right?
Oh,
Talked
yeah.
about the tour.
Yep.
We're gonna move into something else here. A little band called City Hunter from Denver, Colorado. Either of you guys familiar that much? Don't feel bad if
With
you
Denver,
aren't.
yes.
Just
I
the
like
art.
Okay, City Hunter, new LP coming out on Youth Attack. The reason I'm bringing this up is mostly because it's coming out on Youth Attack. He's done a lot of records that I consider very good over the last couple of years. A lot kind of centering on this Denver scene. Shout outs. I have no idea what that world is about. It's kind of more on the punk, noisy side.
Okay.
Which a lot of the Youth Attack kind of leans
Yeah.
to. But it's also really has a solid early 80s hardcore thrust. That said, I'm originally from Denver, Colorado. I was born there. I've always looked for bands from there. Few and far between. Because of this kind of attention, of all these bands have been put on my radar. It's rad. I want to talk about the Youth Attack effect, which is to say that this is now a 20-year-old record label that has...
Wow.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
Is it even longer than that, maybe?
No, I mean, maybe...
Did he put out the early Charles Bronson stuff?
He
Is that what
did.
it
Some of that's
started
like
as?
98, 97 maybe.
Jeez, good Lord.
But it's 20 years.
Wow.
Early 2000s,
Yeah.
he started doing what we kind of sass core that was adjacent to The Locust.
Yeah,
And
he
some
was up on
noisy
all that
stuff and
bullshit,
some
yeah.
like, thrash stuff, The Oath, Total Fury, a band, The Bad Form, who I would recommend. But a lot of forgettable shit, and then continued with a lot of what I would consider forgettable shit. But it always was hype.
Yeah.
People always were checking
Yeah,
it out.
He's good at that.
Is this like how we're making fun of, not making fun of, but pointing out that's a lot of limited.
Yeah.
I made 150
I mean,
copies of
that
this
used
record.
to be the jam. That used to be his go-to. Was scarcity.
Right, which made it hype.
Right. And then he started putting out stuff where it was like, oh yeah, if I press 150 of these, they sell out in an hour. If I press 500, they sell out in 5 hours.
Yeah.
So he started pressing more. His stuff started being a little less scarce, but he has
Okay.
such a following that when he puts these things out,
People
they
just
go
buy
pretty
it.
quick.
Yeah. I'm reading over the discography. I'm like, I don't even know half this stuff.
I'd call it a real label now.
Yeah, but it still has that mystique about it. It was definitely part of the Mysterious Guy thing.
Yeah, real quick,
But sort of adjacent
I'll
to it.
grind my axe for a second if I can.
Yeah.
I hated that era, and I blame
The early aughts.
I
era of
blame this
stuff.
guy directly. Don't get me wrong; he's a guy that likes to take the piss, and when you have an audience that is kind of in on the joke, they are the joke, but they're also in on the joke. You know what I mean? Like here's some used toilet paper I'm selling, and they're like, I'm buying it because it's funny.
funny,
And he's like,
right.
it's funny to sell.
Yeah.
Like that circle of jerk offery. I hated it at the time.
Of course.
I'm not mad at it now. I mean, I don't have a strong feeling on it now, but I'll just say that, like, I really think that the material that he kicked up, and we'll talk about trends and shit at some
Sure.
point, but, like, it was just so fucking creatively bankrupt that it. And I'm a guy who puts out mosh records. I need this. Let's just air myself out. I put out mosh records.
Sure.
But
There's nothing wrong with that artistically.
no, but there's nothing wrong with what this kid was putting out artistically, except it just doesn't appeal to me. So I can identify every defect in every record where it's just like, come on, man, we're doing this part again. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe that. And so I really hated the glut. Right, like because
And that was, say, the first big wave of this.
Yeah.
The early aughts.
there was just a terrible glut, but now, not that this man is demanding my respect, but he's got it now. You know, when I said they're a real label now, that's me being a disrespectful dude, but like, I mean it from my heart.
Yeah.
This is a label that, it's what can you say? 20 years.
Here's what I want to say about this too. What if I told you today, hey, either of you guys, anyone at this table is in a band. Yeah, I know things are going well. How about if you want to do an LP? Cool. This label is going to put it out, and they're going to sell 1,000, not based on you, but just because of who they are, and it's going to get you that much more shine right away. It's a weird thing. Now, I wish it was more impactful to the band.
Right.
Like I big up one of the records he put out last year, Civilized Chopping Block. I think that's a fantastic record. I think he's put out good stuff, especially recently. I think.
Do you think it helps the bands?
I think it does. I think it gets them immediate attention, but then it's sort of on them to be good or not. And if it's just okay, I think a good example. Do you remember the bands Hoax or Squirm?
Yeah.
I don't think they're really anything to write home about. I actually don't.
They did well, though.
They did really well. They had a really hot moment. But I thought both were pretty forgettable. And I don't say that in a mean way. It just was,
I think,
left of the thing.
They were Mysterious Guy Core, though.
The Hoax was to me, the breaking point of Mysterious Guy.
They were the late to the bus Mysterious stuff.
Yeah. They were like to me, I don't know what year that came out, and we'll talk
10, 9,
so I'll
somewhere
save
there.
it for when we do that year.
We did 2010 already, but
we did?
it wasn't on there. So
well, then Hoax is fucking terrible. That era was terrible. That music was terrible. Those kids were terrible. I refer
New York,
to
right?
Yeah, and Hoax was fake from wherever the fuck they were from, but
it was a Mysterious Guy. We don't know.
Yeah. Parts unknown.
I felt they were like Loftcore.
They were
Loftcore.
Like Squirm were Western Mass, but Loftcore. What is a loft in Springfield?
Yeah, it's a warehouse, I think, burnt out. I call this future lawyer core. No disrespect, Tom. No disrespect. You know who I'm talking about, the type of human being I'm talking about.
Yes.
And that's what this type of music is for me. It's pure drive-by music where you had a summer where
you want to commit a drive-by other people who are playing.
Future prosecutor core.
Future drug crime prosecutor core where you are punk as fuck for this summer and then
on to the next.
And
tourists.
Yeah, and I don't level that criticism at very many things at all. I think that everybody in this room would agree that you're entitled to a diverse range of interest.
Sure.
But this is for fucking posers, or was.
And I think, here's the deal. It's based on your perspective to that. I don't know what that dude's involvement was with all these bands. Maybe just like the music. He was creating aesthetic with a lot of these things. And that's something I wanted to talk about with this, is that some of his art is awesome. And I think the last batch of releases he's been doing is great. I just showed you some illustration that he did that's just straight up unbelievable.
So certain labels like Hydra Head at their peak, Death Wish on certain releases, really put everything into the look and Death Wish's case, often the tactile feel of
the whole thing.
And so there's labels that do that. It's very hard to make sense of financially. So respect to all the labels that can manage. No matter what I want to say about even the worst period of Youth Attack, this dude has curated an aesthetic.
Yes.
And is now undeniably good at it. You know what I mean?
Are they still Chicago-based?
No, he was New York-based. I don't know where he is now.
Was he in Albany for a while? Did I make that up?
Yeah.
He was, right?
I think.
I feel like Charles Bronson was Chicago, right?
Yes. He's original
DeKalb, right? Yeah.
DeKalb. I'm
DeKalb
going to
core.
show you this illustration the dude did. Take a look at this. Flip through.
That's him. That's Mark
him.
McCoy.
That's Mark. It's pencil. It's unbelievable.
That's incredible.
I mean, he's just good.
He's really good.
The Full of Hell.
Holy shit.
The Full of Hell album art is fantastic. The Regional Justice Center album art is fantastic.
Did he do the
Pig Destroyer?
The Nun on Fire?
Yep.
That's pretty dope.
He's creating iconic work. He's really good at what he does.
His main gig.
I'd hire him.
I think
That's
so.
incredible.
And so the thing is, too, if you look at all his recent work, so he was involved in the Nothing LP.
Okay.
So check out Regional Justice Center. I mean, if people are seeing it or not, Pig Destroyer, Regional Justice Center, Full of Hell, like he's creating an aesthetic even within it. Like this is my gray period.
Yeah.
Like he's doing these portrait things. I was going to talk on that for a sec. That all have that are reminiscent of one another.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool. And like, there's a part of me that's like, yo, that's really cool. So shout out to Youth Attack. Check these records out. Check out some of the new releases. Because of the internet now, because of those streaming services, there is actual availability of the music, which was my problem with a lot of the stuff. I heard Virgin Megahore. I thought it sucked.
Still does, yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of people who don't like the Oath. Some tracks. I like the Total Fury record. He didn't originally put it out. There's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of bad stuff. So this is maybe a plea to don't feel... One, show appreciation for what's great, the aesthetic of all the shit this dude's done. Two, don't write off a label because you didn't like the stuff they did 5 years ago.
Not at all.
Three, sometimes don't subscribe to anything wholehearted just because you feel like you should. Check it out. Some stuff's good, some stuff's bad.
Right? Like that, or like
Oh yeah.
Like how Jack White has completists.
They got to be tired now. But
how many records? 100.
Somewhere in that range, I'd say.
I mean, you know, looking at it, I liked Charles Bronson at the time.
Yeah.
And Ruination was cool.
No, I mean, yeah, I like the Ruination stuff. I think he has had some records. I'm like, oh, these are really good. Let me look and see if I can find out what the discography is like. But so that's kind of the thing to me.
What I would suggest is for anybody that's interested, Bob can advocate for a number of releases from the last couple years. I think that the mid period where this label was actually at its hottest, I think that that's largely the material is Drek, but you should check it out just because it is undeniably now a piece of hardcore history.
There was this period where this dude fell in this spot in the early 2000s that you don't hear about it that much. It was, we talked about, there's the AN and like Bridge 9 stuff. Mm-hmm. There was the Trustkill stuff, Trustkill Ferret stuff. There was the thrashcore stuff, the more punk stuff. This stuff fell right in between the thrashcore kind of punk stuff and this weird like DIY indie electro clash, a word you haven't heard in 15 years, basement space scene that was a thing. You know, I can't explain Holy Molar to you.
I can't explain the revival of Bloodlink Records as a dance label.
Mm-hmm. Is that what is happening right now?
No. That's what happened 15 years ago when he first came back, refused to do vinyl because it was bad for the environment, and put out dance records from bands such as Denim and Diamonds. Mm-hmm. There was an era where things were fucking bizarre.
Weird time.
Yes. Put out a struggle.
Fucking bizarre.
Yeah. Yes, it was a weird time. So anyways, shout out Youth Attack. Mark McCoy, you're an amazing illustrator. Draw a shirt for us, please. Let's go. One last one.
I often want to hire dudes that I've shit talked just to see if I get their best work or their worst work.
You know, and their highest price.
Definitely their highest price.
A combination of one of those two things, probably worst 100%. And best. Anyone see the Nicole Dollenganger video?
Am I going to sound fucked up if I say I'm a fan of hers and Justice's and opted not to watch it?
No, tell us why.
No,
Are you going to feel uncomfortable?
Well, how does it work?
I want to.
Not
that might be NSFW.
Well, I want to back Justice in what. Firstly, I think Justice is a personality and should be hosting fucking Fear Factor. You know what I mean? Like, I think that he is like that type of human being, like a personality. So when he's getting opportunities to be like
looks good in the video,
involved in anybody else's shit, I'm happy for it. But like, you know, like when you know a dude and it's not the thing that he's known for, you're kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna. I'll give this a minute before I watch this. You know what I mean? Like it would be like if I started.
It's soaking.
Like if I did stand-up comedy, you guys wouldn't be there opening night. You'd probably want to wait until.
No. So here's the thing: I would go opening night because I would be afraid of who wouldn't be there for you.
I'd go opening night and probably never go again.
Oh, really? Okay.
I've seen a lot of first shows.
You're that type of dude.
Not a lot of second, third, fourth.
Gotcha.
You gotta wow them.
Well, not even that. It's just like I've done my part for the souls in purgatory. My mom would say. Yeah.
So, anyways, Nicole Dollenganger, Run for Cover Records. I don't know who's doing the new record.
Dozen other labels she's had an affiliation with. She's actually like spread out quite a bit.
Yes.
Canada too.
A lot of different stuff. A lot of self-released. Yeah, it's odd. New single called Lemonade. Lyrics are, as would expect, very outrageous. Okay. And co-starring our homie Justice from TUI and Angel Dust. It looks good, sharp in the suit, you know. The combination of the weird video and lyrics, I don't know. Go check it out. See how you feel. See if it has you feeling things.
Well, didn't we read her lyrics on here one day? We were like,
Yeah, they're
"What?"
weird. They're weird.
Yeah, and for me, there's
Sure.
a larger question that I don't think we're going to be able to answer here today. But how do you people out there decide what gets a pass and what doesn't for being edgy or being provocative?
Wait, is this just because you're announcing the Cum Monster 7-inch next week?
I mean, look, I think that things are. I think things are going back in that direction, and I'm grateful as fuck.
Virgin Mega Horse single coming
Yeah,
soon.
it's coming.
Live
Yeah,
Crew reunion.
but how do you all decide? How do you all?
Who gets to be an edgelord and who
Yeah,
doesn't?
right.
Yeah.
Who gets cut that fucking like what's up?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Like,
Um,
yeah, you have some suspicions. You have some guesses. I
I mean, I think if the next fucking self-defense family was like, I want to drizzle my, pearly white whatever on you.
Yes.
You probably wouldn't go that well.
I agree with you.
Well,
Why
so-
is that? Is my pearly whatever not up to par? I mean, I could it's probably not, but
Nobody wants it.
He got tested lately, huh?
yeah, probably not. It's probably not great.
It's a good question. Who's allowed? Because there are things that are allowed and not allowed, and it's kind of
It's arbitrary. I'm just going to jump in.
Arbitrary, is there?
It's arbitrary because you're all fucking frauds. That's what it is.
Is there? But do you make good memes? Do you get away with it? Do you have to build your credibility through memeing? You might
Look, all it
start
takes-
gentle and move on to share zone level stuff, and then
I've seen this
Then
story
go
play
for
out
Chan,
too many
then go
times.
Chan.
If a popular person jumps out against you, you cooked. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
you know
true.
what I mean?
That's
That's it. You're all fucking frauds.
So, quick thing. Did you see the Andrew meme he made with Kanye at the president's office?
I did, yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the Curb Your
With the big arms.
Enthusiasm.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, yeah, he made it was good.
I'm
It
not a
was,
friend with Andrew on any of
oh,
the
you should
internet
follow him. He's
websites.
funny. Andrew's Weird Life. And the Andrew story that I didn't tell you that I was going to tell you with regards to recording. Shout out to Andrew and Hans from Overnight Drive. Andrew helps us with recording sometimes. He was finishing a long recording session with Hans for their podcast. I believe he had something like 6 hours of material.
Jesus.
And he was like, oh, what's this giant file on here? Oh, this is one of the Axe to Grind episodes I help with. Let me just delete this. And there goes 6 hours of Overnight Drive.
Jesus.
Oh.
You know,
kept that.
I get very paranoid about files. I mean, they actually go in a separate space until I am 100% sure
Yeah,
I respect
that
that.
they're no longer needed. But you still live in fear. I'm going to knock on wood right now. You live in fear of just the unexpected. If things crash. I know. It's fucking scary.
Yeah.
Our computers.
Okay. Let's get into it.
Winning streaks.
Okay, so winning streaks. Here's what's up, fam. We do these on Patreon, and they get kind of a really positive response. So while we had a couple fresh in our mind, we said let's just do one for the plebs. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like let's see what's up.
Cheap.
Now we've done a bunch. We've done 2 Winning Streaks episodes on Patreon. This gives us a chance to talk about bands who've done a bunch of stuff. Tom, this was your initial concept.
Yeah.
This kind of came from the early days when we got feedback that we were like sports radio for
Yeah.
hardcore,
Yeah.
which we are, which is
we
fucking
are.
cool.
WFAN.
Yeah, but
Excuse me.
if you can, Tom, lay out the rules or just the general idea of winning streaks.
I think we looked at it as sort of any band that has 3 or more substantial releases in a row that are considered good by the majority of their fan.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's not like one of the choices that Pat had was Earth Crisis. Mm-hmm. You and I can agree on that.
Yeah. An
why not?
An outsider's going to hate
Absolutely.
at
And
least
then-
one of those records.
Right,
Yep.
right. So I think it's really based on their kind of their fan base. Do they have 3 records in a row?
In a row. Important.
No demo.
Yep.
No demo, no single, like no promo single type thing.
Right.
you
So
know?
like an EP or an LP.
Yep.
Any of those in a row.
Significant EP, not like some chintzy shit. Yeah.
Like one of mine was kind of on the fence.
It's okay.
I'm gonna
But-
say if
but
it's
it's
I'm gonna say if it's 4 and it's a release that mattered to people,
Yes.
then I think it definitely counts.
Yeah. Well, you'll see when I discuss mine.
So let's get into the shit. What
This is fun.
You want me to lead off?
Lead
You
off.
lead. You had to lead off.
lead off?
All right. And we can kind of my 3 in a row.
Okay.
My triple threat, my
Please.
winning streak would be Quicksand.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Okay, there's two there. I definitely.
So that's where I come with
hear this.
the Rev EP.
okay.
4 songs, 2 of which are on Slip.
Hypno
Clean
Jam with
Slate,
Dan.
though, is a fucking banger.
Yes, it is.
So the EP,
Yep.
Slip, and Manic Compression. I
Yep.
feel like those 3 in a row. The new LP, like whatever.
I also had Quicksand
Oh,
as one of
shit.
mine.
Yeah,
No,
right.
but you,
Let me ask a question, if I can. I think, Tom, I might be making you older than you actually are. Does anybody know how Manic Compression was received when it came out?
yes.
I was wrong
Tell
for
me.
that.
Tell me.
Minute Compression? Yeah. I was around for that.
Yeah.
What year was that?
95?
96?
Oh, okay.
something like that?
Well, was it 96?
No,
95.
95. Yeah.
See, this was not-
Slip is 94, and
93.
then 93, and
Okay.
then yeah, that's
I
right.
knew I was not
So I
around
wasn't
for that.
around, but I was around for the immediate follow.
Yeah.
And they were one of the earlier bands I got into. But what was the reaction in Europe? Because I wasn't around for the
Right.
immediacy.
I feel like it was bigger than the first one.
Oh,
Like
really?
Like they were on like Jon
Island.
Stewart.
Okay,
they were
so
on-
this is interesting to me
Yeah.
because
Like Thorn on My Side was like a hit.
Yeah,
for like,
MTV like video.
So I think we've talked about my history with Quicksand, which is basically I didn't get into it until I was very much an adult.
Yes.
Very much.
Yeah.
And I actively avoided material like this. To me, this was uncool, too heady or something, whatever.
Sure.
I wasn't with it. Now really have an appreciation for it. But
It still lives up to it. Like you
Oh, no,
can
it's-
put it on. It's not like, oh, this is a '90s record.
But that's the thing. I think Slip is brilliant. Manic Compression, I think, is good. But I thought in my head when I constructed a history of this band, I thought there must have been a fall off.
So
there was maybe not in terms of popularity, but definitely. I mean, like I remember when that record came out, it was like, Slip is perfect.
Slip is perfect.
Right.
Manic Compression, not perfect.
Very good. It's a couple parts. Divorce.
Yeah, hard.
Like harder and faster than Slip.
Right, like Super Genius, Brown Gargantua. Like there's some hits on there.
Gargantua, yeah.
Possibly the best Quicksand song is Landmine Spring.
Right. A lot of people feel that way. I don't. but-
Shovel's the best.
Shovels,
Quicksand
great.
song,
Yeah.
which never made a record. Which
Never
is
made a record.
only on the comp, only on Antimatter.
Antimatter, yeah.
But I mean, I feel like it was. They were more popular, but maybe that record wasn't as good as.
So that record came out in conjunction with the first Warped Tour, I believe.
Oh,
They
interesting.
headlined the first Warped Tour.
Yes,
No.
did.
They were
95.
the national headliner for
Really?
the first Warped Tour.
Yes, they were.
What
So-
year? What year was Civ? What year was Civ?
Civ was 96, the year after, I think.
okay.
Oh,
I was
wait,
at that
maybe
one.
I'm gonna pull it
They
up.
did 96 and 90. Civ did a lot of regional dates in 97 too. I was
It might
there.
have been. So I'm guessing 97 because Hatebreed was on it as well.
Yeah, maybe. I was at all those, so that one, they blend together.
I remember I missed Civ, so I just didn't watch anything.
fine.
Whatever.
I went to Asbury Park to watch it.
Yeah?
outside the Stone Pony.
That was a good
Fury of 5 was everywhere.
one. Patrolling.
Yeah,
that
they
was
really
their
were.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, Quicksand was the headliner.
National headliner, and they were big. They were getting all the big spots. The record was different than Slip, which was kind of interesting because Slip has this real undertone to it. It's dark and grim, and it's not to say Manic Compression isn't dark, but Slip is more moody, I would say, if you were going to give it something.
Yeah.
Like it just is like really kind of like dark room music. Yeah, yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah, and Manic Compression captures some of that, but then there's lighter moments, and
Yeah.
it's still big room.
Like Landmine Spring. That's not a heavy
Yeah,
song.
no, and there's some. They're trying different things, and I think that Slip is a better album, but Manic Compression might have a couple. Like when you go through what they play live, they play a bunch off Slip, but they also play a bunch off Manic Compression
Yeah.
still. So the Rev EP has always been something I wish I loved, and I
Really?
don't
Clean
love
Slate
it.
is a banger.
It's a good song. Hypno Jam with Dan, cool.
But you don't like Omission?
I love Omission, but I like the Slip
Slip
version
version
better.
better. Fair.
And I just think it sounds better. My Quicksand, I would throw in Interiors because I really like it. I think that
Really?
record
No
is that
shit.
good.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think
It's
it's,
a good
really
record.
good.
Yeah.
I think for a comeback,
Yeah.
23 years
Yeah.
later, 22 years later,
It's pretty impressive.
It's
Although that dude's
different.
been writing records every year
Oh, I
since
mean,
then, so it's not like...
exactly.
Yeah.
He's been writing, but he got more into a Quicksand frame of mind, but it's not the same. It's a lot. I use the analogy of what, Trapped Under Ice from Big Kiss Goodnight to Heat Wave. He's not in the same place.
Yeah, he can't do that anymore.
If he tried to replicate what he was in 1995, it would come off fraudulent. So do the different thing. I really like Interiors. Quicksand, Slip is like completely unfuckwithable to me. Like, he's doing stuff. He's on a different level lyrically than I think any of his peers.
Yeah.
He's making up words, excrementable. Like, it's amazing. Like,
Just why don't you just like shitty?
yeah, feeling excrementable. Great.
I'm going to. I will, with some hesitation, because the Rev record is not significant to me. But I'll back this choice.
All right.
You know, I'm not mad at it.
Fully back. What is the entry point? Because this is something else we do. We give you our winning streak, and if you're familiar, hopefully you enjoy this talk. If you're not familiar, hopefully we give you a reason. This is also the band that defined post-hardcore to me.
Yeah.
Like, if there's one band that somebody's like, oh, hey, what's post-hardcore? I throw them Slip.
Yeah. Entry point. Are we talking for a core person or like in general?
Give us a 2018 person who likes the pop wig releases and but also has fun at a Detain show.
Yes. So a younger person.
I'd probably go Manic Compression then.
Oh.
For that type of folk?
Yeah.
Slip is perfect, but it's a little bit poppier. It's a little...
It's moodier, and you might have a little more access. This Manic Compression might have better singles, and the song Divorce has a mosh part. I mean, you can just mosh to that.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. So they had that. Like, three of the main bands of Warped Tour that were Sick of It All, Orange 9mm, and
Quicksand
headlined.
Yep.
That's fucking nuts.
Sublime played. I saw Sublime with the guy before he died.
Yo, I want to shout out my friend's sticker company. I think it's BXE Buttons or something. It's from New Jersey. Shout out to Jeff DeSantis and his wife. I believe they do it. They made stickers that just say "With Rome." As in Sublime with Rome.
Yes.
So they just say with Rome.
And it's anything.
And they're just going around. I think dude is on tour in Europe right now with his band Wallbreaker. So shout out. And he's just putting the stickers up at venues under other bands' names. So it says like Disclose with Rome.
That's amazing.
Love everything about that.
Great call. Go get yourself a with Rome sticker. So Quicksand. If you're young and you like to mosh to Detain and you love Popwig records, check out Manic Compression.
That would be my guess. It's hard to say, though.
Manic Compression or Slip, I just don't think you can go wrong.
No.
I will say the cadence for this. Patrick, your story of getting into them late in life as an adult is one that I found with a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And Buddy Dave, strong dislike for Quicksand.
Yeah, wasn't for me.
Until he came... He maybe called me because I was a Quicksand super fan.
Yeah.
Like, I used to walk around New York with just Slip on a cassette and would just listen to that all day, and that's it. He called me from San Diego or like the next date and was like, yeah, I was at a show the other night and that record came on over the speakers after our set and it clicked, and I love this record now. So it's a funny thing. I think you got to be in the right headspace for it.
I guess I was on from like the get.
Yeah. So shout out. Did you see Quicksand pretty early on?
Yeah, I saw them. They played a show at Marauder at one point.
Yeah. They played L'Amour's.
Yeah, but this was at like the Academy or something. And then I'm trying to see. I paid some astronomical amount of money to watch them open for Offspring. And I left for Offspring. I saw them with State of the Nation and Rage.
Oh, rad. I had a State of the Nation long sleeve for a long time because Rev sent it to me for free.
That's a long sleeve.
It was nice. And it had wizard sleeves, so shout out.
Oof.
A big regret was not going to see Quicksand when they were on Deftones tour in '98. Because my friend had stickers.
Convention Center, and I saw it in New York.
Yep. So
Pitch
my
Shifter.
my friend had tickets and was like, "You want to go?" I was like, "Deftones? No."
I would
and it was
love
like Quicksand. I'm like, "No."
I would love to explain to a young person that Deftones were the band that brought out all of these bands. Like
they looked out.
Yeah, this,
I mean,
which was
hardcore
weird.
kids. Yeah.
Which is weird because to me, as a young outsider, I didn't know they were hardcore kids.
Yeah.
I read them as nu metal.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean they definitely
For sure.
but, like they covered Bad Brains.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
They did that stuff on like small labels. That was on the Bad Brains tribute comp that was on like Initial or some
Not
weird label.
Initial, but something weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big, like is it IG? Remember, or wasn't there a label back then called?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I forget what they were called.
Anyways.
Yeah, I mean Quicksand reunited for that tour.
Yep,
They
that's
weren't
right.
even a band anymore.
Right.
This is '98. That record came out in '95. They were done already.
Yep.
Yeah, but like I saw fucking Orange 9mm open for Deftones. Like the Deftones was the band. I don't want to say of that scene. That's not correct. But adjacent to that scene that brought all those bands as support. And
I mean, Willhaven.
yeah,
Willhaven toured with
for
them.
fucking years. I
Far.
think. Yeah,
I mean, they took out everything that was.
Even
and
close.
shout out to our listeners who are like hella young, who are into Far, Orange 9,
Still Suit.
Like to me, that's like I didn't like it as a kid, but I'm kind of shocked that it's not a go-to for a lot of kids now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's more accessible than I ever gave it credit. That's probably why I hated it, to be honest. You know?
Yeah. You never got into Deftones,
Oh no, I still hate the Deftones.
Really?
I hate the Deftones.
Bob?
Don't like the Deftones.
Not at all.
Yeah, but I haven't gone back and checked out the stuff that people
Listen to White
like.
Pony.
Yeah,
It's a great record, man.
I've heard that. I just deleted my fucking winning streaks.
Okay, so I'll go to mine if you're looking
go
for
ahead,
yours.
Beefeater.
No Beefeater. This took some recent investigation work.
Sure.
I'm going Amoebics.
Interesting.
Awesome.
Is that one of Bob's?
No, but
Okay.
I never went with. I never really I was late to Amoebics, right?
Sure.
I was an adult. Utterly love. I mean, truly love Arise, like love. You know what I mean?
Well, good
Great
thing
record.
you'll be able to talk about that in 1985.
That's true. And
Sneak preview.
the
Also, quick pause. People, when we post it on Twitter, and then you post like, "Oh, I hope they talk about Black Flag and the Minor Threat Sound Days."
yeah, we got that one covered.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
we're
covering
good.
it all. We got it. I went through 1,400 records that came out in 1985. Kids,
No, but when they hit
We
us,
good.
when they hit us with the obscures, that's okay. I mean,
I've gotten zero stuff.
stuff that you
So
haven't.
thanks.
Okay,
Thanks, guys.
all right, Bob's on it.
No, you know what?
Kyle from the fight brought up Amoebics. That's why I remember.
That's right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kyle. But there was someone in the first couple first one or two hit us with a couple that I was like, oh shit, we had to do those addendums.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
So it does happen. All right. So you were saying.
So I was saying that we've talked about Amoebics and the fact that I don't really like much.
Butt flap core.
I don't. You know what I mean? I find it less than engaging. But Amoebics,
This is top of the pops.
this is the top.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Better than
comparable.
Discharge?
Oh, I would say by 100%.
Different band, but we'll talk about them in a little bit.
Oh. But I mean, I always kind of threw them all in the same.
No,
Really different
it's-
sound.
Different sound, but I'd say, but
But I think people can group them together because the aesthetic and all that
Yeah,
stuff, it really
that's-
totally.
and we've talked about that too. That Crust is literally an aesthetic because the bands are quite different from each other.
Sure.
I don't think they started copying each other until a little bit later. You know what I mean? And I don't think anybody has done Amoebics well. You know what I mean? So I have a deep affection for this.
The bands who do the best Amoebics with the Amoebics material are the ones like From Ashes Rise, His Hero's Gone, Tragedy,
Right.
who take it and twist it and do their own thing. Because they can't replicate what these dudes were doing.
Right.
Give us your 3 records.
So you got Arise, Monolith, and Sonic Mass. And Sonic Mass is the one that came out
That's
years later, like 20 years later, right?
Wow.
Monolith I fuck with really hard. too.
Okay, so I'm an Arise man, Monolith good, Sonic Mass never fucked with. Investigated recently,
Made your list.
I fuck with.
What year was this?
The fucking Sonic Mass was 2011.
Ray Mayorga played on that.
Yes, that is correct.
Wow.
That is
From-
correct.
Yeah. From Nausea and Stone Sour.
Yep. And
Sorry.
as a result, I think, in part, okay, so there is a Killing Joke element to all Amoebics, but
Yeah,
that last
wow.
record you hear it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That 2011 record.
I've never heard
think
it.
Roy-
You're like, oh yeah,
Roy is
yeah,
the
100%.
reason for that,
Yeah,
sorta?
I do, and it is fucking good. It is I think it's worth it just for God of the Grain, which is just about like the sort of archetypical God figure that reappears over the course of history, from like Adonis to the sun to Jesus,
Sure.
and it is done so fucking well that it makes me want to like watch The Wicker Man. You know what I mean? Like
The original or the one with the not the bees? Not the bees.
I'll watch either to this shit.
Wow.
I thought that
You should do like the sit and play the movie and listen
here's an
to the
idea.
Bavix record.
Here's an idea. Labels, hit me up. Self-Defense sits in a dark room and using a MIDI keyboard does the soundtrack to the new Wicker Man by visual. Like, we don't listen to anything. We just sit in the dark,
And
watch
play
the
along
film,
with it.
and play it along with
So
it.
like the Nicolas Cage
Yes.
Lily Sobieski version.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's not something we're just doing in here. We can project it on that wall.
I was honestly thinking about it with the film Sorcerer. Do you guys know anything about the movie Sorcerer?
I have no idea.
No.
Fucking wild movie. William Friedkin, who did The Exorcist.
Yeah.
And so I was reading about it the other day. He might have seen himself as Coppola's main competition. So when Coppola went to do,
Saw himself as.
yeah, for sure.
Yes.
But when Coppola went and did Apocalypse Now in the jungles of Southeast Asia, Friedkin said, "I'm going to the Amazon." And
I see you're Southeast Asia,
yes.
and I raise you
and
the Amazon.
Did a movie with Roy Scheider, right? Who I love.
Pre-Jaws?
This is
Had to be.
70. I don't know what, but
Jaws
Pre-Sequest?
75.
so anyway, it's a movie. It's called Sorcerer, but it's about men that have nothing back home, that have done something terrible back home, and now their job is driving crates of dynamite over like bridges made out of wood, and it is.
Seems like not a great conceit for an hour and a half movie.
I'm so excited to sit and really watch this movie. And
is it known for being bad?
okay, so nobody saw it when it came out. You know why?
wow.
It came out the same week as Star Wars. So-
Well, there you go. 1977.
So it was it was shitted on when it came out,
Sure.
and did not help Friedkin's career.
Right, and his delusion as he was
Yes.
the next Coppola.
But has now gotten like
some legs?
Yes, it's a thing that's looked at as like a highly ambitious, like pretty dark emotional movie. And Amelia and I are trying to set time aside. And if I like it as much as I like it based on how much I've watched the trailer 6 times, which, by the way, if you watch the trailer on Amazon, it's not the trailer. It's just bizarre clips put together. It's really strange.
Like he didn't cut himself,
No.
clearly.
Wow.
This might have been pre-trailer?
No.
No,
There
trailers have existed, but once you get back into the 70s, they're really weird.
Yeah.
But so the actual trailer for it is weird. The trailer on Amazon is, without much exaggeration, it's like a man watching a faucet drip and then a picture of the jungle. And it's bizarre.
Right.
But anyway, point is, Self-Defense has been talking about doing a soundtrack. And if I love this movie the way I think that I'm going to love this
You're
movie,
gonna soundtrack Sorcerer.
I want to say,
Fucked Up already did that, right?
hold
About
on.
a 1939
Pause.
silent movie.
Why
Pause.
Zanzibar then?
I'm just
Big mad.
I'm without too much dismissal. Somebody would have to care about what Fucked Up is doing.
Oh, true.
Somebody would have to care
Damn.
for that to be a relevant
That's
You guys
criticism.
never play in Toronto. Ben Cook will swing on you.
I mean,
Damien might
so
not.
inside.
but Ben will.
I'll tell you what. No level of beating would make people care about their records.
Yeah, we just got the hyper masculine. He got his
Yeah,
fierce
wow.
teeth out. You saw that? I might just do a fucked up winning streak just to incense him.
I mean, maybe you could prove
the
it.
Zanzibar silent film. Go check that out. They did a soundtrack for it.
So how does that work? You just watch it and kind of play to it?
You should just
Yeah.
do that. Should be your just 2020 gimmick. Just a bunch of soundtracks.
I would love to. I'd
Sound
love
of
to.
music.
Yeah,
Self-defense.
Love to. But
You do like an LP a month. Sorry,
LP a
Jeff.
month club,
Sorry, Jeff.
or whoever's putting your records
If this-
out
Yeah,
by
by
that point.
then, yeah.
If this was 10 years ago,
Axe to grind
where
records.
people were vinyl crazy, maybe. But
Yo, should we put out the next America's Hardcore comp on Axe to Grind Records with Triple B's permission? Would that be cool?
I
We can
mean,
do that.
Sam makes it sound like comps are the biggest frustration in
What
his
if we
life.
did it and just gave it out for free?
Well, we make comps already.
Yeah.
Bob makes a comp every week.
That's true.
That's true.
If we're being realistic, with major label bands on it, it's pretty cool.
True. Yeah, that's
We don't
true.
even pay him $1.
We don't pay him nothing.
We don't pay recording
Thank
fees.
you. That's right. Yeah, we're
good.
putting America's Hardcore comp next week. It's coming out. It's already released stuff, but we're putting it
Sick of it
together.
all's on the Judge. It's weird. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, well,
Did either of you
Mix.
listen to the 8-Bit Judge song?
I did.
I couldn't get it to work because
I
I had
did.
no.
Fucking great.
I did.
Did you listen to the 8-Bit Earth Crisis song?
No, I didn't.
I sent that to
No,
you.
I didn't.
All right, so Amoebix.
Interesting. All right. Jumping off point. Where would you say?
I'm going to Rise.
Yeah.
Okay.
But honestly,
Monolith is even more dark and weird to me.
Yeah, it is.
But it's like, so the piece, if you're sitting there and you're like, yo, motherfuckers, I like the mosh. I'm not in the crust. This is not the crust you think it is. This is like weird, dark music. So
Is it
if
kind
you
of like futuristic?
No.
I always thought of Amoeba
Fear
as like
of-
future punk. Kind
no,
of stuff.
I'll tell you what it's like. It's actually the opposite in that it is
technophobic.
it's yes
Got it.
Music for Luddites.
it really theme wise is often talking about like they've got a song ICBM, which is obviously about ICBMs, but like then they have songs about kind of like not Middle Earth shit. It's not fantasy
No.
shit. You wouldn't be alienated
No,
by
it's
it.
not Led Zeppelin.
But it's like it's like gather round the hearth because we all die tomorrow music. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
okay.
it is. So it runs the gambit between talking about nuclear annihilation and talking about like the Jungian idea of a collective consciousness regarding older gods.
So you
what
know
I'm
how
saying?
in a
It's
lot of
fucking
like
great.
weird sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, there'll be these like say like Blade Runner. There's just a giant city.
Yeah.
It's crazy cityscape, but then outside the city are like desert plains and like the real freaks live out there.
Yeah.
Amoebix is the music for the desert freak.
So in 22 years, when our world
Correct.
ends, Amoebix will be the soundtrack.
While
Yes.
you're in the future city, breathing fresh, created oxygen, me and Patrick are going to be
Patty
out
butt
there,
flaps over here are gonna be out
Mad Max style,
Yeah.
fighting for shit while
Yeah.
listening to Amoebix.
And now you picked up Tau Cross, right? You're
I
like
did.
27,
I love
20.
it so fucking much.
Turn
And
some
it's a
people
lot
on.
of-
It's good.
That's awesome. Good.
A lot of crossover. I mean, it's the same singer
Same singer.
as the Amoebix?
Yep.
Interesting.
So Amoebix Arise is the jumping on point.
I'd say almost anybody could enjoy that, but if you like a more modern but not embarrassing sounding recording, honestly, Sonic Mass is very good. It is in almost every respect, it is a worthy addition. So I'm giving him 3.
Cool. What do you got?
Here we are.
Do you recover?
No, I didn't.
But you
I had
just
to
don't want to
redo
top
it.
your head.
Huh?
You know them off the top of your head.
I knew a handful, and I think I lost one, but it's all right. I'll figure it out. I think it's on my computer at home.
By the way, I'm not into walking things back, but I don't actually care about fucked up.
You know, if this was like real sports talk radio, that shit would have been.
I know,
clipped out.
but I was
You
just
got
like,
hot. You
but I
got
was just
hot.
but I was just sitting here and I was like,
the Odell Beckham.
I was sitting here and I was like, I don't actually.
You have no beef with those dudes.
Oh, but I was like, do I let it ride or not let it ride? Whatever. I'll tell you what, listeners, you can let it ride if you want. I don't give a fuck.
Would Self Defense do a tour with Fucked Up?
No.
What about
Really?
Drug Church.
Yeah.
Dude,
See, I feel like they'd
self-defense touring with fucked up would
It'd
actually
be a really
for
good
you.
look.
You know what? Intuitively, that's true, no doubt. But I really want to keep self-defense are getting old. Like these are old people. We're old.
I see what you're saying.
and I'm just like fucked up, bigger band than us. It would be cool for all the reasons. Good pocket
It
to
would
be
be
in.
good.
Everything about it. I'd like to keep us away from bands of our age.
Okay, yeah.
That's all.
All right. So you said Quicksand,
Yes.
Rival Schools, United by Fate, Petals,
Sure.
and Found, which is their lost record.
Oh, is it released?
It is released. They put it out several years ago. It came out after Petals. But so the story on Rival Schools, for those uninitiated, it is Walter Schreifel's band after Quicksand.
Yeah, we're in a trifle state of mind
We
today.
are.
Soon thereafter. 3 years?
Soon, yes. They had a record and they were probably even quicker. Between Quicksand and Rival Schools, Walter did a short-lived band called World's Fastest Car, which is awesome. I have a shirt.
I
It's
know.
just rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were supposed to play Seabees and they never showed up.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever played the States.
I think they played...
They toured Japan.
They played the States. I'm pretty sure they played New Brunswick. I think they played like 6 shows in the States.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember going to Seabees because they were supposed to be the...
They
never ended up playing.
If you're curious about World's Fastest Car, there's a ton of... their demos are out there. It's some of my favorite of Walter Schreifel's music, period. There's also live sets of World's Fastest Car from Japan playing the whole thing. And you go, oh... So that's where some of these rival school songs came from.
Like the sound that can't be still and all that sort of stuff. A lot of the same.
A lot of stuff that was reused. So good for him. But rival schools is awesome. It took me a little while to get into them. When they were around early and like selling out Maxwell's in like 2000, 2001, I was like, I don't care about this band. I moved to California and almost immediately it clicked. I was like, oh yeah. I was driving around like beautiful Westlake Village, like driving through the hills back and forth to LA. And I'm like, God damn. This band's awesome. So,
this is Walter, Sammy, Ian
Love, who was in Iceburn.
No, that's the bass player. I forget his name.
Oh yeah.
Something Tolman.
Yeah, that's right. Ian was in what? He was in something else.
I think he was in Orange 9mm for a while.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And there was dudes from
Cash Tolman was the guy that played in
That's
Iceburn.
Right. Good job.
Yeah.
So this band had a minute. A little bit in the New York City metro area.
Sure.
In the UK, they were gigantic for a minute. Were
they?
Huge, yeah, like big singles, all that.
I feel like they played Radio City. I don't know who they opened for.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I forget who it might have been.
People were excited because it was the dude from the big 90s post-hardcore band doing a more accessible rock band. Mm-hmm. But then things kind of fell apart, and I don't really know what happened. Basically, United by Fate came out. It was on Island, I believe, Def Jam. It did not do huge numbers commercially, but the thought was that it might.
Yeah.
And I guess it didn't. And then it was kind of, are they a band? Are they not a band? Nobody's hearing anything. Hey, they recorded another record, but it's not out there. It's just these demos. And then it was done. And so it was just, all that was out there was, he did a split with One Line Drawing. Right.
Where they play on each other's songs.
That's right. And that stuff's fine. The song Bells is really good off that. And there was an initial single that I don't think is on anything else that is that's awesome too. But anyways, what I'm saying is that Rival Schools has a flawless discography to me. But they broke up. And Walter goes on to do a band. He does solo stuff for a while, Walter Schreifel's, and then does a band called Walking Concert. If you're paying attention around this time, between 2003 and 2006, 7, 8, the demos get leaked, the lost record. Uh-huh. They are the worst recording quality. It sounds like they were recorded under the ocean. Like whoosh,
one of MP3s.
Over it, yes. But the songs were fucking great. Like,
right. And this ended up becoming found?
This became found. Yes. It's awesome. Weird. It's great. And they cleaned it up. So it's the actual.
Who put this out?
I don't know.
Self-released.
Self-released.
I mean, it's a label listed as United by Fate. I have to imagine that's a self-release.
I don't think so. No, there's somebody did a physical. It was not Photo Finish. It was someone. Pedals was on Photo Finish. So Photo Finish might have done.
I remember when they were first starting like the buzz, they were actually called Rival Schools United by Fate.
Yeah.
And then they got sued.
Yeah.
Because that's a video game.
Or a cease and desist.
Yeah.
So the big thing is that Rival Schools, lots of references to things, and that's something that Walter was doing with a lot of songs. Some of the songs that you hear that you go, oh, this is this like super deep song, whatever. And then, he has a song. What the hell is the song? It's, anyways, he has a very meaningful song that you hear it, and it's like kind of like a heartstring thing, and it's like, oh yeah, that song, I wrote that about John Travolta. Like about his life and career between like...
And then ruins it for you a little bit.
Yeah.
No.
But it's cool. You can still make it your own, but yeah.
Right.
I know that you want to be rich, yeah, but how to hold on to it. Just a second away from return, yeah, you're gonna get paid on. It's about John Travolta.
Let me say something about Walter that I respect so deeply. This dude is so confident in his ability that he lets bands dissolve, that everybody around him is telling him
Is the next thing.
this is going to pop. And, you know, look, maybe he's very smart and gets out when things peak and he knows it's the peak, but that is the rarest figure in all of music.
I mean, think about his resume. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Like, I mean, that Civ record, still paying his bills probably. He wrote that shit himself.
I know. Yeah, he's the writer on that whole Slide Your Calls, yes.
And he wasn't allowed to...
Because of contract stuff
Because of the island and all that sort of stuff. So was he ever... I don't remember. I don't remember.
He was not listed,
No,
but
right.
I think he gets the publishing, something
Yeah,
like
I'm
that.
sure, yeah.
I don't know the
But I mean,
ins and
that
outs.
dude is literally... I love that walking concert record.
It's
Run to
great,
Be Born.
and I saw them play to 6 people in Silver Lake when they toured.
They played croutons. It was like famous. Like,
It was awesome,
legendary.
right? Yeah, we'll talk about Crouton sometime.
I've heard one rival school song,
Yeah, which one?
whatever the hit.
Used for Glue.
Used for Glow.
Okay, yeah.
I watched that video like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, how is this dude always so cool?
Yeah, Used
Even
for Glue
then,
was
like,
big.
he was just like,
Mental
yeah.
used to do the Used for Glue intro as an intro. Yeah.
It's groovy. It's
Yeah, it was
awesome.
cool. So shout out to rival schools. The entry point I'd say is United by Fate.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to United by Fate this
If
week.
you like it, yeah. If you like Quicksand,
It's like a more likable Quicksand, right?
it's like a more likable Quicksand.
Yeah.
But so United by Fate, more likable. Lyrics are on another level still. If you're a weirdo and you are like, this is cool, listen to Found because it's on some down shit.
More than pedals.
A lot more.
that
And there's a
Pedals?
lost single off Pedals called Arranged Marriages. That's only off on the Ring It Out single. It's on Apple Music, but you can't get it on Spotify. And it's one of his best songs. Great.
feel like-
I can't believe it was cut from the session. So,
Right. Sometimes I never understand some of this. I'm like, really? This is the one?
I know.
But I think when people say like interiors, going back to Quicksand,
Yeah.
sounds like rival schools. I think they mean pedals. 'Cause it's a little bit more like,
Oh, yeah.
like
there's a little
it's
bit.
not as heavy. Like
No.
as like how it was like a change from United by Fate. That was like a pretty heavy record. It was like
yeah.
a step down from Quicksand in terms
was.
of heaviness, but it was still pretty heavy.
No, for Walter fans, you can kind of check this out. If you follow Walter from Gorilla Biscuits,
Yeah.
so you have Gorilla Biscuits 7-inch to Start Today, he does the Moondog demo, which is this bridge between kind of hardcore but also weird and kind of post-hardcore. Makes perfect sense from Gorilla Biscuits to Moondog to Quicksand.
Yeah, very.
Which then you get this other interim band, World's Fastest Car, which is way more indie than that stuff. And then you go from World's Fastest Car, Quicksand to World's Fastest Car to Rival Schools. Again, this arc is all making sense.
right.
Even up to, in my opinion, Walking Concert. Walking Concert is a relatively short-lived band for him. Where I think he was the primary songwriter, but he wasn't the only vocalist.
Guy, right? Like,
It wasn't. There was an actual band around it too, but
Drew Thomas, I think, was in it.
Drew was in it. Yep, and Into Another, and then some people who I don't know their backgrounds at all.
Right.
But that record is way more lo-fi and
Yeah.
more rock and roll. He covers T-Rex on there. It's a cool record.
Run
but
to Be Born?
Run to Be
It
Born
doesn't really exist. I went to look on like Spotify.
Someone reissued it on vinyl several years ago,
Okay.
like probably 8 years ago. I didn't get it. I wish I did because I love the record.
Yeah.
But that was a record. So just to give you a scope of like how big Rival Schools was, in 2001, Rival Schools and Hoobastank did split promo CDs.
Wow.
And, Hoobastank had that one big year. So,
Ripping
yeah.
off Refused.
yeah, they did.
They did.
So the, Rival Schools. Cool winning streak.
I would not have picked
You co-sign?
I would co-sign that.
Okay.
I have to go.
You got to listen to
I
that
don't
Found
know
record. Oh my God.
And Pedals, I was kind of like, this is cool. I don't need
Revisit the song A Parts for B Actors. And
Really?
it's unbelievable. Yeah, there's it was a slow burn for me. And some of Walter's more recent bands I haven't dove into as much, but I want to. I know.
He
It's
did the one. What was it? One band. that was
Vanishing Point.
like, that was the more like heavy, hardcore-ish. Not really.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah.
And then the
What's the more rock band?
Dead-
Dead Heavens?
Dead Heavens.
Yeah. Which I heard one part of one of their newer records and I was like feeling it.
Yeah?
So I got to revisit. So anyways, shout out. I think that new Quicksand record's great too.
I gotta
All right.
revisit that too. I got to.
You're up.
Close-minded dick. What do we got? Hold on.
You want me to jump in line? What are you doing?
I got one.
All right.
I'm gonna go I think Bob might back me on this. Integrity.
Oh, yeah.
3 in a row?
Absolutely. Those Who Fear Tomorrow.
Okay.
Systems Overload. Humanity is the Devil. You can't beat that.
No, I maintain that the first and the last are both overrated, with me just being a systems overload man. But yeah.
That might be my least favorite of the 3.
Oh, I really like it.
Can I shut off these lights?
Oh, sure. But I'll get, look,
Yeah.
here's why this is not up for debate. Because for an integrity fan, yes, all of those.
I would put it dark on it.
You know what I mean? All of those kill. So, yeah, even though I don't know, I still think that there's so much overrating in the integrity mythos, but
I feel like those 3 records you could still back.
We're talking about integrity, so we shut off all the lights to get spooky in here. All right, so your streak was...
Comes a tide. Those Who Fear Tomorrow.
Yes.
Systems Overload.
Yes.
And Humanity is the Devil.
Easy.
I mean,
yes,
you can't
cosign.
really...
No, I mean, it's so... I'd say over the past decade, hardcore in general has been beaten over the head with integrity.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up, it's okay, no disrespect to a very obviously a band that has had multiple good eras. This is a Vice band. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when you say we got hit over the head with this, we didn't get hit over the head with this just by hardcore kids. We got hit over the head by this.
By Decibel.
With Decibel and Vice and like a bunch of music press people that
We've been listening to this for 25 years. I don't know what you mean.
Is Integrity's roots mystery guy?
Oh, yes.
Oh, he's
yes.
the king mystery.
Without,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
The mythology,
The OG,
he
yeah.
started it. So, but that said, as we identified on our integrity deep dive,
Go listen.
the corniness, it's there.
Yeah.
The greatness, on these records, it's there.
Yeah.
These are great records.
It's like liking King Diamond. You know what it is, but you like it. Whatever.
Y'all know what it is. This is integrity. Let's go.
This King Diamond integrity mashup.
What would you tell someone is the best way to get to, if they've never heard integrity, or they heard them, for example, like a friend of mine who had heard them, written them off 15 years ago, and was like, you're talking about integrity. What do you think is the point to jump in?
In terms of an album or a song?
Album,
yeah.
I'd probably go Those Who Fear Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Really?
I
Yeah.
think so too.
Interesting.
I mean, you just like play somebody Misha.
I know.
Yep.
You get in and it's just there, and you get it
Judgment
right
Day,
away. There's
Hard.
enough there's enough familiarity too. Like if you know just basics hardcore, like there's enough in
You'll
Those Who Fear
recognize it.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
whether you're coming in from the new side or the older side.
Yeah,
Like if
right.
you're new, you're going to hear bands, this sounds like stuff I like. Like, this sounds like Forced Order. This sounds like whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Or if you're into older stuff, you're like, this is like Judge. Duh.
Yeah.
You know? So, Those Who Fear Tomorrow.
I'm going
Still
System
great.
Overload just because I think it's the most complete effort of those. But
Yeah.
but
I mean, is that their biggest record? What do you think?
no, Humanity.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean,
You
that's
think it
only-
is?
I think Humanity.
I think Humanity, you know why? Because it was on Victory.
Yeah.
Great cover art, well
Yeah.
distributed.
Yeah.
And,
Right
and Systems
time.
Overload was on Victory, and it also was like their return.
That's right.
I mean,
I think
Systems Overload, the song is fucking.
great. Yeah. I think Humanity
Booked them in
just.
New York.
What's that?
Let's book 'em in
Let's
New
all
York.
right, yeah, let's see how
We'll
that
get
goes.
'em on the boat.
Yeah, we'll put them on a boat. We'll be in international
We're
waters.
not in New York.
Yeah,
It's on the boat.
we're safe. It's all good. Okay.
Will it be your?
Integ. Do you
Oh
have-
no! Do you want to go on to your
I'm going to Tech 2000. That's where I'm start. That's where I think every kid should start.
the Heavens Looking for an Angel, something whatever?
No,
Bee Gees covers?
the Donna Summer cover of Bad Girls.
You know what I did talk
Holy
about?
God.
I don't know. Do you ever hear Integrity do Evacuate by Negative Approach?
Yes, I have.
Pretty hard.
It's good.
Pretty hard. Yeah.
No. Good song.
Okay. Am I
Kenlin,
going?
you're
Am I
up.
going? I
Give us
was
something.
shocked that we didn't talk about this one. I thought we did. Blacklisted.
I know.
We did not.
They on my list too.
3 in a row.
I give them an easy 3 in a row.
I found my 3 in a row.
If you have to find them, maybe you're not right.
That's why I don't
Well,
need to
mine
look.
was good. It wasn't a hard find, but it was okay.
Oh well, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. I think there's a defined 3 that are like, okay. Yeah, no
Now,
one's
all right,
mad.
to add to the rules.
Yeah.
Are we considering like a compilation of 7 inches to be part of the?
I would give it special
Like, would Our Youth
dispensations.
Is Wasted be part of this 3?
Oh, yeah, I would say it could be. I would allow
I think
that.
you could do that.
Yeah.
Like, or would like say American Nightmare Year 1? Would that be considered?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I
you could
personally
do
would.
that. Sure.
Okay.
Because those
Well,
are,
and even with American Nightmare, if you wanted to go first 7 inch, second 7 inch,
7-inch background music.
I'd do that.
Yeah, how did I not do that?
I don't know yet.
I'm such a stan.
You mentioned them in the first Winning Streaks episode, but we never dove into it. So
right.
maybe that's on save for
Spoiler
a future
alert.
one. Yeah, burr, burr, burr.
I'm
Give us
going.
your 3.
I'm going with the LPs. That's Heavier Than Heaven.
Okay. No one deserves to be.
No
here
one
more than
deserves to be here. And when people grow, people go. I say that with no reservation. I think all of those records are fucking great.
What's your favorite of the 3?
Heavier Than Heaven, but I truly love that last record in a way that
It hasn't hit me.
most other people, they thought it was a good effort, didn't do it for them. I think it's a gem. I think it's really like,
Here's my argument.
yes.
Do you think the 7 inches that kind of were interspersed in there-
100% killed some of the momentum. Yes. Is that
Right.
what
So
you're
I
going to
mean,
say? Yes.
but does that fuck up your 3?
No, because I personally think those are great records. I
So
think
he's
those 7 inches are
riding
really
with
good.
Magician and Eccentric
Saxo-
9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know if does
I thi-
that like throw off your.
No,
You would include them, make it.
He's
make it a
giving
5.
it. He's giving it a 5, but he's highlighting
The 3.
the 3
Okay.
LPs.
yeah,
Okay.
and with the asterisks that I recognize that those 7 inches are controversial even among fans, but I don't think that last record is controversial among fans. I really think that it suffers.
Just overlooked.
Yes, I think it suffers from people just not being aware.
I mean, I love Blacklist, and I can't tell you I listened to that record more than once.
Give it another go.
You should honestly. I did. It is a very, very good record. It's not making my 3 because
Okay.
I just never go to Eccentric 9
Yeah.
or The Magician. They just kind of lost me there. But When People Grow, People Go is a great record. My 3.
Yes.
Peace on Earth, War on Stage.
Hard.
Heavier Than Heaven, Lonelier Than God.
Uh-huh.
No one deserves to be here more than me. Boom.
You wouldn't go here. That Are You
The early era. Well, so here's the problem. There's the early era,
Sure.
which let's call it the Jay Pepito years, which is Demo, Our Youth Is Wasted, and the First Blood Split,
Right.
which I think that's only one song, I believe.
Is
Maybe
that
it's
just
two.
Eye for an Eye?
Yes.
Which is still one of the biggest songs.
It's like, yeah.
They had to stop playing it because people were getting hurt.
It's dropping the mic level good, you know? So
Yeah.
there's those records, but it's one song on a split, so I'm not going to count it.
Sure.
The next record is the short-lived Tim Smith era, The Beat Goes On. A record I like. I don't
Disappointing,
love.
though.
I don't love.
No.
And when I've gone back to it, I like it less. Whereas when I've gone back to When People Grow, People Go.
You liked it more.
Oh my God, I was
Yeah.
shocked. I was shocked how much I liked it because when on first listens, I thought those were.
Thank you.
I thought that record was like, oh man, maybe they lost the magic. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I was smoking crack because it's a really good record.
I really need to revisit it.
It's a really good record, and like sitting with it on a headphones listen, I was like, oh yeah, this is another blacklisted record. I would. I like No One more than it.
That might be my favorite.
Like I think it has some more eccentric parts, but like in that loose cannon, spiraling out of control way. But of those records, War on Earth, Peace on Stage is my favorite. Those 4 songs were the Blacklisted broke up, but then kind of were like, wait, we love this. Why are we breaking up?
And that was their return.
And they came back with that, and it was fucking great. It was like, it was the rare situation where it felt like a band came back and put out their best record.
Right, and that was like Circuit Breaker. What else is on that?
Oh,
Sorry.
no.
I'm trying to picture
the songs.
the records on it. I just, when I think of that record, I think of a
Is
Jordan.
that Matrimony?
No,
Because I can picture the cover, and the thing that stands out on the cover is a Jordan logo.
Yes.
yes.
To me.
Well, the aesthetic of that record, it's funny because I think that record is this like gray, white, black tone, and the images were so striking that it didn't need to do a lot with color, but just the imagery pulled out. And it was like, oh, this feels like the band. This is awesome.
Did I put that out?
Death Wish.
That's a Death Wish release, and there's not a song that hits 2 minutes on it.
Perfect. That's when they're at their best.
That is
Ivory
so
Tower.
fucking
Okay.
good.
Memory Lane, Canonized, and Setting Sun.
That's good.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
Fucking great. And that kind of like laid the path for Heavier Than Heaven, Lonelier Than God.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. Let me see this. I don't know. No, Circuit Breaker's on the LP.
Yeah.
The only song that repeats off the 7-inch is Memory Lane.
Yeah.
Is Canonized? No, Memory Lane. So, I mean, how musically would you describe Blacklisted? The early era is AN meets Madball Mosh.
Correct.
Slower AM.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then once you get to Heavier Than Heaven, Peace on Earth, No One era, it's almost completely different.
Yeah, it actually.
The Madball's kind of gone.
Yeah. At times speeds up. At times goes
Grooves out.
He grooves out.
You know what I heard someone describe them as?
Hit me.
Or like compared them to, and at first I was like, oh, come on. But if you really listen, I can kind of hear it every time I die.
Okay, a lot of people have been saying that since George's voice has.
When he started doing the like,
Yeah. Yeah.
they said George.
Yeah, I think that's the only. That's the only.
Maybe some of the
to me.
riff, maybe some of the riffage, a little slow.
Those
and
dudes
low.
are students of music in the way that, like, the mains, they're all, I think that George, Bean, and Sausage all write songs for the modern era. And they all come from kind of different backgrounds. Bean and Sausage specifically come from more like a street punk background, which is funny. I don't hear that a lot in the sound, but I do hear tendencies with that in some of the drumming parts. There's some more kick up,
What was
faster
Sausage's
punk.
band? The Boils?
He was in the Boils, yeah.
Now, who's the drummer? There used to be a kid named Sean.
Sean was the drummer for a long time,
Yeah.
and I think he played on everything except the newest record.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think Rifkin played on that.
Okay, very good drummer.
Great drummer,
Very,
yeah.
very good
And so
drummer.
I think, I know they get some, like, they don't get credit. They're one of the first bands, hardcore bands, who came in and were referencing Life of Agony. Like, they were going in on a lot of that kind of stuff.
I think they covered it.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they used to cover River Runs Red live. So
And they were singing Maximum Penalty songs before. Like, he always kind of did this weird kind of like,
Yes.
here's my intro to the song.
And I'm gonna
it's
reference song
and I'm gonna
lyrics.
sing fucking Coming Home by Maximum Penalty.
yes.
Thank you.
So I think that he, I think that George and those dudes.
You give me the same tea bag? That's it. You dirty motherfucker.
We're reusing tea bags over here at
God
A2GHQ. It's just how we do.
Patreon, you coming through?
Do people not reuse tea bags? I do.
No, what I do is I make iced tea, like a big thing of it, with 2 tea bags. That's it. That's all you need.
You know what's interesting? Like,
And I'm starting to think I might just go down to 1, but it's all right.
so I guess this is just a weird habit of mine. All tea is too intense for me. I leave it in for like 10 seconds.
Mayo too spicy for you?
It's mayo's too spicy. Ketchup too intense.
It's my spiciest condiment.
I think if you're a kid into aggressive shit, people are going to tell you to get into Blacklisted at the very early material. They're not wrong, but it hits a real stride. Heavier Than Heaven, Peace on Earth is a moment. And,
It's a moment.
and it really deserves your attention.
It's
but
a vibe, as the kids say.
it
Yo,
is.
they were a band who worked so hard from that time they started, which is like 02, 03-ish. They started just being a Philly band, Philly kids, figured out how to get out on tour, and then just toured their asses off. They were doing like, them, Down to Nothing, and Cast Aside did this hellish tour. I want to say they did like a 6-week U.S. tour
Ugh.
in 05 and just crushed it. And like, they just never could win, basically. And then they announced they were breaking up summer of 2006. Bunch of different reasons led to that. None of them really that relevant, but they decided they were going to break up.
Yeah.
Play 2 last shows. The first, Sound and Fury. The first, This Is Hardcore.
Wow.
They are the reason both those fests popped off right away. I don't think they get the credit they probably deserve, but those were like, oh, Blacklist is doing one last show in California at Sound and Fury Fest, this new thing, and one last show at Philly at This Is Hardcore, this brand new thing.
Cool. Yeah.
And they got a lot of love that had kind of came out of nowhere. And I think they realized, like, shit, we love doing this. Let's not stop. And then put out their best material, like I said. And that really is, what Patrick said is 100% right. Peace on Earth, War on Stage is a moment. And it's lost a little bit right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say next. Is I've said this 4 times on this podcast, and I don't want to belabor a point, but Blacklisted is a band that if you are overlooking them for whatever reason, you will feel foolish in 5 years.
Right.
They're undeniably good, and things that are undeniably good, in the same way that I ignored Quicksand for a huge chunk of my life and didn't get to enjoy Quicksand for a huge chunk of my life, I would urge you not to make the same mistakes that I've made.
Those things come back around.
Yeah, for sure.
Invariably.
For sure. I think Blacklisted will be a major inspiration to bands, but not for another few years.
Yes.
I started liking basketball actively in 1986. Up until 1992, 93, I didn't like Michael Jordan because I came from the Magic Johnson and Larry Bird of the best basketball players era. And this dude, he's fine, but he doesn't win anything. And I robbed myself of years of paying attention to greatness. And that's one of the reasons I try to keep an open mind with it, with things in life, which is a silly thing to say, that this fucking lesson from being like closed-minded about the best basketball player on the planet. But it was like, it wasn't him, it was me being like a little turd, like, I'm a child,
sure.
and I don't like this guy. I like my guys more, you know? Yo, Blacklisted is undeniable greatness. Enjoy it.
There you go. Do we have one more?
We'll do the one that we kind of made reference to. Discharge.
Oh,
Damn.
I can't even speak intelligently on this because I can only think of one record.
Tom?
But say no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil.
Which is their, like, one of the big ones. But that's not one of the ones on my list.
Really? I feel. Oh, wow. Okay. Please do tell.
Before Hear Nothing, See Nothing, Say Nothing,
Oh, that's right.
they do first single, Fight Back. Second single, Realities of War. Third single, Decontrol. And then the Y 12-inch. Yo, this is the punk band I overlooked for the first 6 years I was in a punk. This is a punk band. And let me correct myself. This is a hardcore band. Their music is hardcore. But this is a punk band I overlooked because I thought they were crass. I thought they were stupid music that people just wore on a patch, and it was just crap, and like, who cares, and whatever. And it took me several years, and then seeing this entire wave of D-beat bands, many of which were terrible, but seeing this wave of bands who worshipped Discharge, to realize, like, oh, this is, let me actually go listen to these records, the ones that people say. So their sound on these is dirty, fast, hard, 77 punk meets Motorhead.
Yep.
So it's gnarly.
Yeah.
And it's gravel vocals, and it's a lot more like American hardcore than it is like the 77 punk that they kind of referenced as a template. Yo, when I was putting this together, I looked into it. The Realities of War single, which is great, hit the charts in London, like rock charts. It was on the charts for 44 weeks. What?
God.
Yeah, it topped out at number 4. What? It's a black and white cover. Like, look at it. It is a
Crustiest of crust.
It'd be like Trapped Under Ice, Secrets of the World hitting Billboard and sitting in the top 10 for a while, and people are like, yeah. Even at the time, this is like 80,
Right.
81.
So
I can't even explain, like, if you like any kind of punk music, any kind of like fast hardcore or stuff that's more on the punk hardcore side of things, Discharge is necessary. But I feel as though, like myself and like many of my friends, this band gets overlooked because they're a patch band, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that. And I feel like a lot of people think like late 70s, early 80s punk.
Yep.
I think a lot of people they go, like X-Ray Specs.
Right.
Or like all that sort of stuff.
Assumption of what it sounds like, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like old punk is nerdy and not as hard and heavy as you'd like.
Yeah.
But they definitely are.
No, and there's stuff like Apple and Crass that like even those I still can't. That's not my thing. I just don't really. I didn't really like it.
Right.
But maybe I should check that out again. Discharge is
Not
just
the
so
same,
good.
though. Similar, like philosophically.
Yeah.
not
Total
the same.
political. Yeah, like political punk music,
Yeah.
and I mean, Discharge. Do you like anything with post-apocalyptic imagery? This is them. Burned bodies, dead stuff. It's cool.
It is.
Yeah. So
We've become the punkest podcast. We're not
here
a
we go.
hardcore podcast.
I know
anymore.
we need it. Well, but this is to inject some of this, and like it's just got that fast driving beat, like the D beat thing.
Yeah.
You can hear that influence on stuff like the Candy record.
Absolutely.
Which is fucking funny, but like that's all integrity. Like Discharge is an influence on all these things.
Right. They're your favorite band's favorite band.
Yes, they're right, and they're one of these bands who, in a roots way, like should get more shine than they do, which is tough to say. Like, there's not many. Does Black Flag get all the love they deserve? Yeah, probably. Minor Threat? Yeah, probably. Bad Brains? Yeah, probably. Discharge?
No.
In hardcore? Nah. I think that they're, and I'm not telling you to go get a bullet belt or just wear black clothing, but
shock
this
your
is
hair, but you
no,
might.
never did. But you can check this band out and enjoy it and realize, like, especially the singles and why. I'll recommend starting with Fight Back. It's just the first single, but there's a singles collection that's easily consumable out there. Go listen to some of that stuff. Once it hits Hear Nothing, See Nothing, Say Nothing, the more I see, like it gets, they start playing with some power metal and start getting into some weird stuff that I don't fuck with. But that was the more readily available stuff, so I don't think that's as good.
I only know that record because it was easily found.
Yeah, so
And
shout
they still
out.
exist in 2018.
They do. Different singer, some
From
different
Jersey?
lineup. Yes, from
Same guy?
Yeah, from the shore. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
What
there you
was
go.
he in before? Was he like a lethal aggression guy or something?
No, he wasn't a lethal aggression guy. He might have been crew. Who knows? There are some weird old ties there. I don't remember who it is.
Okay.
I'll give that a shot.
Amoebics would say, listen to Discharge.
Yeah.
Don't you make listen to Discharge shirts? Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Saw a lot of them. Okay. Everybody like that? I like that.
I liked it.
I like it because I always end up like I'm over here on SoulSeek downloading Rival Schools because I'm
Right
like,
now,
I
yeah.
guess I got to give it a shot. Okay, I'll give it a shot. So
It opened my mind up to stuff that I never really like.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. Hopefully it does the same for everybody else. but, like,
Absolutely does. It's
Bob's
definitely-
lane is so much different. Your lane is so much different that it's like, oh, cool.
yeah,
I listen to stuff that I probably would never have given a shot before.
that's what.
Thanks, fellas.
So well, thank you, Tom.
Appreciate it.
All right, this has been another episode of Axe to Grind. If you're feeling charitable, give us a good review on those things that you do that.
5 stars.
5 stars, and don't be shy to go to the Patreon and throw us money in that context.
You got another almost going on 20 hours of content over there.
That's pretty good.
Get in there.
Happy to have you all. Speak soon.
Be good to each other.